Hi and welcome to the video training of design patterns. In this video training, we will be discussing factory design pattern. Factory pattern is one of the most used design patterns in Java. This type of design pattern comes under creational pattern as this pattern provides one of the best ways to create an object. In factory pattern, we create object without exposing the creation logic to the client and refer to newly created object using a common interface. Let's discuss the implementation. We are going to create a shape interface and concrete classes implementing the shape interface. A factory class shape factory is defined as a next step. Factory pattern demo. Our demo class will use shape factory to get a shape object. It will pass information circle, rectangle or square to shape factory to get the type of object it needs. Now let's look at our application architecture. So at the very top level we will have the shape interface, which will have the draw method, and this interface will be implemented by three different classes, namely circle, square and rectangle. Afterwards we have a factory pattern. We have a shape factory class that is created using one of the top classes, and in this class we have the get shape method, which returns the shape of the object that has been created. And at the end we will create a factory pattern demo in which we will ask the shape factory to give us a circle, square or a rectangle. So that's how we will going to implement this in our program. So first of all, let's create an interface. This is the step 1. So we are going to create a class called shape.java. So I'm going to use Sublime editor, shape.java. Let me create a folder for this factory. Okay, and shape.java, and in this we are going to have a public interface called shape, and it only have one method called draw. So this is all about shape.java. Let's move on to step 2. Let's create concrete classes implementing the same interface. Let's create rectangle.java. So let's go to the command line and rectangle.java. Okay, and this will be our public class rectangle, and it implements the shape interface that we created in step 1, and it will override the draw method that has been defined in the shape interface. So I'm going to create the function with the same name, that is draw, and I'm just going to print something on the output terminal saying inside rectangle draw method. That's it for the rectangle class, and afterwards we are just going to create square.java and circle.java. Let's do that. Okay, circle.java, and you can just copy the contents of rectangle.java into circle.java and just change the name of the class to circle in the class name, and in the output we are going to send to the terminal. And the last class we have is called square. Okay, so let's create the square square.java, square.java, and we're just going to copy the contents from circle to our square class, and square. Okay, save this file. Now we have shape.java, which is our interface. Then we have square.java, rectangle.java, and circle.java, which are our concrete classes in this application. Okay, the step 3 is to create a factory to generate object of concrete class based on given information. So this is a very important class, and it is going to be named as shapefactory.java. So we are going to create a file, shapefactory.java, public class shapefactory. Okay, here, and the first method we are going to implement is called getShape. So it will return a shape object, getShape, depending on the string that is being sent to this method by the calling function. So here we are receiving shape type, which is a string, and we are adding a check if shape type is null, then return null. Okay, and the second thing we are going to do is if shape type dot equals ignore case circle. What this function does on the string object, it ignores the case sensitivity for the string being passed, and it will return a new circle object. Similarly, we will do the same thing for, we are going to put else if here, and we are going to do this for rectangle. Here we are going to return rectangle. Okay, and the last one is the square. Okay, square. Okay, and return square. Okay, that's about it. And if it doesn't match anything else, again we are going to return null. Okay, so this is our shape factory class. Save the file, and let's move on to step 4, which is the last step in this lesson, and we are going to use the factory to get object of concrete class by passing an information such as type, and this class will be called factory pattern demo.java. Factory pattern demo.java, public class factory pattern demo. Okay, what this class will do is basically it will have the main method as all executable Java classes have. So it will be public static void main with string array as args variable, and within the main method we are going to create a shape factory object called shape factory in small case, and it will have reference to a newly created shape factory object. Afterwards we are going to get an object of circle class and get its and call its draw method. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the shape interface and call shape, create a reference called shape1 equals shape factory dot get shape, and we are going to pass a string called circle. So basically shape factory will return an object of circle class and store its reference in the shape1 variable that is of shape type interface. Similarly, we are going to do is to call the shape1.draw method, the circle type, draw method of circle type. Okay, the next we are going to do is for the rectangle, and rectangle, let's call it shape2 and shape2 here, and this is rectangle, and the last and the third thing is the square. Okay, square and square, and let's make it shape3, otherwise you will get a compilation error as well. So that's about it. Save this file, and now step 5 is to verify our outputs. So let's go to the command line and let's see how many files we have. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 files now. Okay, let's start by compiling factory pattern demo, and okay, factory pattern demo have automatically created the class file of all concrete classes: circle.class, rectangle.class, square.class, and shape factory.class, shape.class. So we have now we have 12 files in our directory. So I think we are good to go. So we just need to run the factory pattern demo class that we have, and as you can see the output we have inside circle draw method, inside rectangle draw method, and inside square draw method. So basically the shape factory is basically you can say encapsulation, doing the encapsulation and hiding the actual production of the object circle, rectangle or square. So the user that or the developer that is using the shape factory doesn't need to know the internal logic, how the circle class is circle object is being created, or the rectangle object is being created, or the square object is being created. He just needs to know how to use and which functions to use those classes. So the factory pattern is like a hiring agency. You have got someone that will need a variable number of workers. This person may know some info they need in the people they hire, but that's it. So when they need a new employee, they call the hiring agency and tell them what they need. Now to actually hire someone, you need to know a lot of stuff: benefits, eligibility verification, etc. But the person hiring doesn't need to know any of this. The hiring agency handles all of that. In the same way, using a factory allows the consumer to create new objects without having to know the details of how they are created or what their dependencies are. They only have to give the information they actually want. I hope you have understood the concept of factory design pattern, and if you need any help or you have any questions, you can contact me at umehmood@gmail.com. You can visit my LinkedIn profile or my Twitter handle. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time with a new topic in software design patterns.